Animated film dust fades in. Our view zooms out to reveal a map of the BLM AFS fire protection area.
In the fall of 2022, the Mooseheart crew, a BLM contract crew predominantly made of firefighters from Tanana and Minto, created a fuel break to protect the village of Alatna from wildfires.
Lines protrude from the map to denote the locations of Fairbanks and Alatna. The map zooms into blackness. The animated BLM logo bumper shrinks into view. The words, Alaska Fire Service, Fairbanks, Alaska, appear on screen. A woman is walking down a forest away from the viewer. The words, Creating Wildfire-Resilient Alaskan Communities, appear on screen. A sliding picture carousel animation slides into view displaying various fast-moving images of objects, people, and the landscape of the worksite.
Mobilized to Alatna on August 28th and completed the project on September 17th.
Multiple shots of men sawing piles of tree trunks on the ground.
The crew cut and piled 1 acre a day and created more than 3,000 small piles, which will be burned in the fall of 2023. Nicholas Roberts is shown on screen, against the backdrop of the forest, as he speaks. The words, Nicholas Roberts, Mooseheart contract crew boss, appear on screen. A static carousel photo projection of members of the crew huddled during a break appears on screen with the caption, Alatna, Fall 2022.
Experience for some of the newer ones on the crew? Or,
yes.
We see Nicholas again.
For, some of these guys, it's their first year being Sawyer, and then it's good learning experience for them before we get on fire again. So they know what to do.
Another carousel photo animation with the same caption appears on screen, this time displaying a close-up of a chainsaw, followed by a campsite.
And then this is kind of a nice transition in between, possibly going to 148.
Yep, so
we see Nicholas again.
Our internal overhead is pushing them so they'll be prepared for what's coming in the future.
A picture of the crew appears on a film dust motion background.
The BLM will continue to work closely with communities, Alaska Native.
Overhead flying footage of 2 villages divided by a river. The words, Allakaket, Koyukik River, and Alatna, appear stacked over each other respectively.
Organizations and tribes to reduce
a montage of different log piles covered by sheets of paper.
Wildfire risk, improve wildfire resiliency, and promote fire-adapted communities. The piles were covered with squares of paper to keep the core dry.
A picture of the narrator with the crew appears on a film dust motion background.
And make them easier to burn in the future and reduce the smoke emissions.
An animation of the bill moving past the screen as its title is highlighted.
Part of the project is funded by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law.
We now see the narrator on screen, standing by some roses in the field. Tasha Shields, BLM AFS fuel specialist, speaker, appear on screen.
This mitigation work will aid in reducing suppression costs.
Footage of the crew working in the forest.
Through on-the-ground wildfire preparedness. It will also lessen the potential for negative long-term environmental impacts from reactionary suppression actions.
We see Tasha again motioning broadly at trees in front of her.
This is what it looked like before they built their piles, so this is like the typical fields that they've been working in. This project,
more men working in the forest,
was one of several operations underway to make rural communities more resilient to wildfires. Because the crew,
a map of the Alaska Native Regional Corporation boundaries appears on screen.
The crew was mostly made up of indigenous individuals from nearby rural villages.
Lines protrude from the map to denote the locations of Alatna, Minto, and Tanana.
In interior Alaska. The work also provided
a man rides an all-terrain vehicle up a gravel road.
Employment opportunities in underserved communities. It is also the first example.
A picture of a crew member sawing appears on a film dust motion background.
Of hazardous fuels reduction work completed by an Alaskan Type 2 contract crew.
The image fades, followed by the end credits, produced by BLM AFS Public Affairs.